plot thickets.
Yeah, so Jack just he was a Solocast, then he just came over, right?
All right, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to episode 214 of the RGT podcast. Man, pretty interesting week. What'd you say, Red Hood? Pretty interesting. This one's honestly, this is kind of a mixed week for me and Red Hood here. I mean, obviously we got the gaming news for you guys today we're gonna go over, but we also got some news in the comic book space that did it really catch you off guard? Red Hood, did it catch you off guard? Because it didn't catch me off guard as much.
Well, it depends on what you kind of like say by catch off guard. Like there was the report saying about Wonder Woman, not getting their third film.
Yeah, that was
and hearing Aquaman, Jason Momoa not being Aquaman anymore,
and
being recasted as Lobo. So it definitely feels like they're gonna reboot the whole thing.
Jason Momoa as Lobo.
I think that's a good casting. Actually,
it's a good casting, but now of all things, you wanna cast him as Lobo now?
Recast them. I mean, they're gonna have new Aquaman, new Wonder Woman, new Superman, and I got a theory that James Gunn said Matt Reeves' Batman's not gonna be part of the universe, but what I think he's gonna do is he's gonna try to force it to be part of the universe. You think absolutely feel like it's gonna happen. Like I think he's trying to be nice to Matt Reeves. And it's like, yeah, he's not gonna be part of the universe. He's definitely not gonna be. And then maybe by the third movie, after he's done, he'll just integrate him into it.
Just get Christopher Nolan. Just get Christopher Nolan back and give us.
He's not, dude. Bell. He hates WB. He's not coming back. He hates his new movies. With is it Paramount or Universal? One or the other.
Paramount.
It's with and it's over. Like that bridge is burnt. So.
Jeesh,
they're not getting Nolan back.
That's
and
bad. Christian
Bale's too old. Yeah. I'm being honest, too old to play Batman.
Talk to Michael Keaton. Oh, by the way, he was actually going to play Batman. Well, not Batman. He's going to play Bruce Wayne again. It was going to be like a Batman Beyond.
I heard the writers were bad.
Yeah,
I heard the writers were really bad though.
They scrapped it. They scrapped it.
So people are like, dude, I would rather have that movie. It's like with really bad writers. Do you want to have that movie?
I would have done a few things though if it had the right writer. Like for example, I'd bring Robert Pattinson back, but he would be Terry McGinnis. That's not honestly okay. I think he's okay as Batman. I think he's a pretty good Batman for what he did in the grounded sort of sense.
Well, the thing is,
I think
because people talk about his Bruce Wayne, and the thing is, his Bruce Wayne is not supposed to be a fully developed Bruce Wayne. His mask isn't fully developed because Bruce Wayne's a mask. I think you're gonna get your whatever, the definitive Bruce Wayne in the second movie.
Agreed.
Him being outgoing and being a philanthropist and all that. Yeah, and more charismatic.
I agree.
Because I think it's a good way to go about it because it doesn't make any sense for them to just have it out there already.
Yeah, for sure. Man, this is interesting, bro. It's a really, really interesting very interesting week. Very interesting.
I mean, we can segue though.
Patty Jenkins. I just want to tackle this for a second.
Oh.
We watched this. So, what's up, everybody in the chat? What's going on? Good to see y'all. Hopefully, you sound.
They're saying my audio is jacked up.
It's on me. There we go. But everybody in the chat, what's up? We watched a certain movie together. We was in the Discord. I mean, obviously, something like this ain't gonna happen again because of the fact that theaters are still around, right? But a certain DC film came out. We were watching. We were chilling in the server. We were actually excited for it. And, well, it was very, what's the word, Red Hood? Depressing, underwhelming. Does that fall in the words?
If you're talking about the movie, I think you're talking about, you mean trash?
Oh, well, there's that, too. You said trash.
Like garbage, like terrible and shouldn't have ever happened. And
listen,
I'm just look, I'm being honest. Like, if you're talking about Wonder Woman 84,
I am actually
one of the worst sequels I've ever seen in quite some time. Oh. And I think James Gunn did a solid and said no to this film.
I don't know.
Because Patty, I'm keeping it up. She lost her Cleopatra movie, right? That's number one. A lot of people don't realize she lost it. Rogue Squadron's up in the air. I don't think they're going to continue with that.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's not going to direct the next Wonder Woman movie, which her career is not on a good path, at all. Nah. If people think it is, I'm sorry to tell you, it's definitely not.
She's definitely lost her way for sure.
And I think she got help. She got a lot of help with the first movie. I feel.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a lot of advisors she went through, like for the design
and writers.
and tone.
But
yeah.
like
This one, she's like she fully tackled. Like, oh, I got an idea of how it works, and then we saw a travesty in full full picture.
Absolutely.
You know, damn. Now I think about that. You know, a lot of people are upset that she's getting recast or whatever. I'm okay. I'm okay with Gal Gadot getting recast for sure. I got no issue with that. My issue is Henry Cavill. This is the one person I did not think and I did not want to see get recast. Yeah,
he's gone.
He's gotten the worst end of the stick.
Dude, he got fired twice.
Absolutely, yeah. Like he's gotten the worst end of the
literally,
stick.
Bro. Like that's insane. Like to say, like he got fired twice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that The Rock was trying to do chess moves. He was going to try to be the next DC head, and David Zaslav hired, Sarnoff or whatever, and James Gunn to be the new heads. But if his movie made a lot of money, then he would have had a bargaining chip. Oh, yeah. That he would have had more creative control within DC, and kind of like have freaking Black Adam versus Superman. And the movie didn't do well.
I mean, I told y'all this in the server. Did I not tell y'all this? I told y'all that's not going to be the one. It ain't going to be the one. It looked good. It like cinematography wise, I thought it looked good in some shots. But I was like, bro, that ain't it.
The story was garbage.
Yeah, I'm saying that's not it. That's not it. Like that's not going to be the thing.
If you're talking about like a post-credit scene is the best part of your movie, that's an L. Yeah. That's a big fat L.
Absolutely.
And we'll see though when it comes to James Gunn, because he's going to be doing a younger Superman with the Daily was it the Daily Planet, right? I think that's what it's called, with Clark as like a reporter. And it's not an origin story, which I'm glad. But dude, I would have loved, and let me pitch this, a Henry Cavill Brainiac like movie, like Superman fighting Brainiac. That would have been something I would have loved so much.
Just give me the Injustice comics on the big screen. Just give me
you were gonna get that.
No, I'm talking
with
about
the sequel.
Yeah, give me the real. Well, yeah, true. With what was it? Justice League.
Justice League 2 would have been Injustice, and then Justice League 3 is like time travel and changing the events.
Yeah, so they kind of were doing it. I don't know. The DC really screwed up. These are your key characters. You got Batman. I remember when we first saw that, they do just like really overhyping it, but I'm like, bro, they kind of leaked everything before we got to the reveal of the film. You know, the whole plot was revealed. You knew what was going to happen. So
I agree with that.
It was like, it's tough to get into DC films. As we go, it's tough as it is. It really is tough. Like you have those few that are good, and it's like there's not enough substance here where you're like all the way in. Now, I'm not saying this because me and Red Hood are like Marvel fanatics and like that. No, because the Marvel, even the writers came out and said that the wait, was it Phase 4 we're in? Phase 4 so far has been pretty lackluster.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't even care for Marvel at this point either.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I've said this that I'm excited for when it comes to a comic book movie is Into the Spider-Verse.
Absolutely.
Or sorry, what was it?
Spider-Man and Daredevil. I think that's what it was, right? Spider-Man Daredevil. That's what they.
No. I was talking the animation, Sony Animation Studio, which is Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Whatever the sequel is, Across the Spider-Verse, I think it is.
There you go.
That is something I'm really excited for. And then the Batman 2. That's literally it for me. And Joker 2.
Yeah.
That's it. That is insane to me.
Blade doesn't have me hyped. I'm not hyped for Blade because it's PG-13. I don't see no magic happening with a PG-13 rating with a Blade film. I don't see that happening. So
and then when you talk about Marvel, all you're talking about is cameos. Like, oh, I can't wait for this character to go to this. Yep. But you don't talk about the actual story or the character development within those films. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see all these cameos in Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange is mad.
Yep.
Then you're like, oh, I can't wait to see like this and the third. It's like, but you don't talk about the actual movie.
Dude, what was that other joint? The one thing I was trying to talk to you about, I was like, dude, I'm excited for this. And then the confirmation came out that it was a TV show. That took the fun out of it. But I'm talking about Secret Invasion? Is that what it is? Secret Invasion?
Which one are you talking about for the Nick Fury?
The Nick Fury, yeah, Secret Invasion. Yeah,
that was the one that I was actually shocked that it looks like it's dark. But,
yeah,
Marvel tends to lie.
They lie a
remember
lot.
when they remember Iron Man 3?
Mm-hmm, the Mandalorian.
Iron Man 3, dude, made it look so dark within those trailers.
And it was goofy. It was goofy from start to finish.
And I was like, dude, that was the biggest facade, like, lie I've ever seen.
What's
happen.
up?
I was so excited for that movie too when I saw those trailers.
Oh, dude, the speeches like Baylor.
Same thing with the Age of Ultron trailer too.
Yeah.
That trailer, if you saw that trailer, it looked dark, it looked crazy, it looked insane. Like those trailers were awesome. And then when you watch it, you're like, yo, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, we saw a shattered shield and all that. I'm like, damn, okay. Age of Ultron's about to be lit. It's like, it ain't lit. It ain't low. Okay, to be fair, after looking at most of the TV shows stuff that we've been getting, I'm kind of sounding like Thanos in the long. I think we all sound like Thanos when we're looking at Age of Ultron. Like, perhaps we judge you too harshly. Like, perhaps we judged you, because that is how it's been, low key. It's been a bad, it's been a bad type of Ville for the MCU.
But I wanted to mention there was some news when it comes to Henry Cavill, like through his Instagram. He's talking about, leading the charge of a Warhammer universe. It's something he's been like pretty vocal with his interviews, especially when it came to Witcher. Though, like he makes like figurines and paints like the figurines for Warhammer, and it seems like it's going to be on Amazon, I believe, and that's going to be interesting because like he's very passionate about Warhammer, a big PC gamer, so it's going to be cool to see like what he does with that, and like I can't wait to see something like that, because if he's like actually in charge, like they're saying he is, leading the charge for that, I'm gonna be kind of hyped for him.
Yeah,
like if they make Warhammer gruesome and all that, like we saw in like the Game Awards with Alien, whatever the sequel, which looks kind of cool at the Game Awards.
I will say this: Black Panther 2 was I would say Black Panther 2 was worth the wait. You know what I mean? But obviously a lot was cut out, because of what happened. But I thought they did good with Black Panther 2. But the thing is, I don't know, man. I'm not as invested in a lot of the characters. Like Daredevil, like me and this fool right here, we were over the moon for Daredevil when we heard that he was going to be in She-Hulk. So, okay. And then what happened, right? When we saw Daredevil, we both were screaming, turn this off. Like, this is what we doing? Turn this off. Like it was bad. I didn't like.
It was so bad, man. They butchered that character like
really bad.
I knew, like, dude, like I was like maybe it might be good, but in my head I knew, and I think I said this a couple times. Like they're gonna butcher this, man. Like I don't have faith in Marvel. I'll say it here. I think Daredevil Netflix show is probably the best. Like it's not even part of the MCU, or you could say it's a part of the MCU. I don't know. Everyone goes back and forth when it comes to this. Definitely, probably like my favorite in terms of Marvel property, in terms of character development, in terms of story. I like that way more than any of the MCU stuff. That's just me, though. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but I don't think any of those movies or shows come close to Daredevil.
I mean, I'm shocked you. Well, yeah. What was the other one? Was it Luke Cage? Was it Luke Cage? That's what it was. And
I only like the first half of Luke Cage on season 1. Like a lot of people may agree or disagree with that. I think the first half of Luke Cage was like a masterpiece. Then the second half, it just went like,
what was it?
So
Jessica
cheesy.
Jones. Everybody lost interest with him.
Jessica Jones actually was really good. The first season was dope. Then it just fell off after that.
See, at least you had interest.
And then Iron Fist was just bad as a whole.
Oh boy, don't get me started with Iron Fist. Don't get me started. Don't get me started with that one. Oh, God. All right, hold on. 1 second. But yeah, don't get me started with that. What else was it that was going on in terms of the list here? I mean, it's just hard to get invested, bro. It's hard. Maybe I'm just getting out of the face. Or maybe it's because they don't have a villain that, that demands my attention yet. Like,
dude, the only ones that demanded my attention were like Kingpin, Thanos.
Thanos definitely was the character that carried a saga. But the thing is, who do you have for this new phase to carry a saga? You know what I mean? Do you have
Kang?
Do you? Well,
but the thing is, they're
I don't even have faith.
I don't have faith.
I don't have faith they're gonna do it right. I don't have faith in that. I don't have faith.
Like I said, like the whole point of Secret Wars is just a lot of cameos.
Secret Invasion had me hyped until. Hey man, I'm just gonna move on. Me and you can talk about this all day. I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Anyway, what y'all been up to in the chat? Good to see everybody. Me, you know, I've been actually brushing up on some old shows that I actually slept on. Been watching Game of Thrones, literally start to finish. I ain't gonna lie, man. I see where the hype was, like legit. I see where the hype was. It's very, very gruesome, very dark. It's really dope though. I actually like it. It's very, like I like storytelling like this where they take a chance with a character. You know what I mean? And they're not like all overprotective of them. It's like no, you kind of get that everybody's kind of in the same little camp here. You know what I mean? Everybody can get taken out anytime. So I actually dig that a lot about the show. I'm actually on season. I'm almost done. I think I'm on season 7. Now I just got on season 7 and I was actually binge watching it the whole time. So this whole time I couldn't drop the content. I just been sitting here like a lazy clown, legit watching Game of Thrones, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of mad. I didn't listen to Red Hood and the guys about this early on. I'm kind of mad about that. I was like, damn, this is lit, really, really good. I don't know if you guys watched or got into it, but it's really fire. Shout out to Ice Cream Gaming for being a channel member for 21 months. Wow. Shout out to Ice Cream Gaming. Thank you. Shout out to all the channel members. I guess we're ready to get into this news, shall we, Mr. Red Hood?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. I'm going to save this one for a second. Let's start with the one that we saw. I mean, you were like blown away by because of just how, like, the overall flex of this announcement and everything he was doing with it. Hideo Kojima, ladies and gentlemen, showed off his new studio. It looks pretty Death Stranding-esque, wouldn't you say? It looks pretty damn one for one shot. It looks very, very Death Stranding-esque. It looks pretty cool. The new bar or lunch area looked dope with the LEDs everywhere. His office / editing room, I think that's what it was, looked absolutely insane. Everything was over the top. Like, he really was showing off. Now, he mentioned, obviously, his new IP that he's working on alongside Death Stranding 2. The new IP, we don't know, but if I remember correctly, he is also working on something for Xbox.
It's a cloud game, right? Or
yeah,
no?
It's got to be because he's working on something with Xbox. We know that was also on the table, but he didn't mention, obviously, that for the Xbox yet. So, obviously, he hasn't started, I'm guessing, on the Xbox project. It's mostly
he's tinkering with it. That's all he's been saying. I'm keeping a bug. I think that cloud game is not coming out for a minute. I think cloud game is coming out after Death Stranding 2.
It's got to be, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because Death Stranding looks like it's pretty much on the road of almost done. You know what I mean? It's looking good.
I wonder how Phil Spencer was like,
oh, no.
Damn. He saw Death Stranding 2. He's like, damn, where's our game, bro? I just find that funny, though, in reality, though. He's like, damn, bro. This looks really, really good. Yeah. I hope our cloud game looks as good as this.
Hey, man.
But probably not, because, like, the only time he gets to use the Decima engine, I think, right, is through any first, like, PlayStation, like, exclusive game, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Or partnership with PlayStation.
I ain't gonna lie, Phil, how do I say this? Phil has had, like, this has got to be, like, the worst year for Xbox. And I'm going to bring this up because this is going to tie into a big point I'm going to make. I actually thought about dropping this video, but I didn't do it. I just didn't do it. I didn't want to do it. But since I got you here to piggyback off what I'm going to say, I mean, it's going to make a lot more sense. But, yeah, man, the studio looks phenomenal. Looks really, really cool. I like the direction they're doing with this. Death Stranding, I mean, do we really need to say anything about Death Stranding? The man predicted the future. It was fire. We're going to have a few special surprises for you guys next year, so I'm looking forward to that. So keep open for that, or keep your eyes open for those tweets and everything when we get everything together. I got to upgrade my CPU, man. My CPU needs to go. It's killing me. But anyway.
I saw your freaking motherboard. Listen, I wasn't awake, but I looked at the messages. You posted $1,000 motherboard.
Oh no, like, that was for Lobo, because Lobo was telling me about he was telling me, like, he was recommending boards. I'm like, what you recommending? He's sitting going, I'm like, Lobo, $1,000 for a damn boy.
Yeah,
It was like,
I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, let me double check on this. Like,
'cause
whoever posted this, I was like, this shit is
I'm
too
over
much
here.
money,
I'm
man.
over here bouncing back. I'm like, do I want to stick with where I'm at right now with Intel, or do I want to go AMD? Here you go. He gonna post a damn $1,000 boy. I'm like, Lobo, unless you coughing up 500, I need you to take several seats, several steps back with this pricing.
Dude, I always go AOS. That's just me for motherboards.
He had me crying with that though. I was like, come on, Doc. This is a little too much. So yeah, that was that, man. That was definitely that. It was dope. Can't wait. Let's see. Oh, don't worry. I got words on that, Sean. I got words on that. Just stick around. Stick around. Don't worry. Spider-Man 2. Red Hood confirmed.
Which was leaked before.
Yeah, it was leaked before. This is just them confirming the already leaked info.
Like I told Big Cloud this,
Yeah.
and set the groundwork for it. Like I was like, Big Cloud, there's this writer that people found her website. There's a writer for both, I think, Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. And she said Spider-Man 2 was coming out in fall of 2023. And then when people were making articles about it, what she did, which either she was told to do, or she said, oh crap, let me change it. I'm assuming she was asked to take it down. And then she just started working on those games without the release window.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm thinking it's a fall 2023 game. And then with the PlayStation blog post, they're like, yeah, it's coming out, 2023 in fall. Spider-Man 2, PlayStation 5 exclusive. They emphasized that. And listen, I think it is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. There's no way. If you overemphasize that it's a PS5 exclusive several times and somehow tell consumers that is not a PlayStation 5 exclusive, that is a cross-gen game, people are going to be pissed. Very much people will get pissed.
Or you can just surprise us, tell us it's Avowed.
Oh man. Listen, I got words on that, which we could talk about later. But
shout out to Avowed, or not Avowed, not Avowed. What's that game I was talking about? I said Avowed. What's the other team? But the other game, it was Abandoned. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I was talking about that. But yeah, Avowed. We're gonna save that for as well, because that's gonna tie into this. Jeff B Gaming, what's up? So PS5, again, I still got this thought. Red Hood still got that thought, brother.
I don't think so. If they're overemphasizing, they're gonna get so much backlash if they go back.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Case by case basis. I don't know. If it is though, if it isn't, I'll be grinning from ear to ear because I'll be happy as hell. It'll be like the full-fledged next-gen version, but it's a possibility.
I'm gonna tell you, if they announce it, they will get backlash. They keep saying PS5 only.
I hope so.
I don't think it's gonna be the case.
I hope so, brother. I hope so. I hope so.
Dude, I'm telling you, so many people will be very vocal about it.
Yeah,
so many people.
But how many people will buy it day one? Still, that's the thing. They have to be vocal, but still buy it, and that's the thing.
Don't get me. I mean, but the consumer goodwills will start to lose, though. That's the thing. You gotta think about it in terms of optics that way.
Good point.
And then we've been noticing all these PS5 games are outselling the PS4 versions.
Yep. So
what's the point of having a game that's held back on a PS4 that's not going to sell that well?
That's true. That's true. You got a point. I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. I got that thought process. I got that thought process. But either way, I'm excited, y'all. I know y'all asked me about Spider-Man. Yes, I'm excited. Can't wait to play it. It's gonna be phenomenal. Spider-Man 2018. I mean, bro, when I was playing Spider-Man 2018, I did not shut up about it I'm still talking about it, but I did not shut up about it for like 2 years. I was nonstop talking about the game, still what they could do. I'm gonna hit up Evan Falarka. We're gonna have Evan Falarka back on because he wanted to come through and talk about it. So we're gonna definitely.
I know there was an interview with what's his name, the guy who plays Venom. Is it Todd?
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
But respect him. That's the GOAT.
And somebody had like an interview with him and said, like, can you like let us know what is gonna be like for Venom? It's like think like Rhino but crazier, and like Miles Morales, like get like the city being destroyed or something, going through that. And I'm like, dude, that'd be crazy. The only thing I could say is like, I hope that they do this is make the boss battles better. Like, That's my biggest
They were a
complaint
little too
with
easy to figure out, right? They were kind of
with
one-on-one.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, like the Rhino and Scorpion fight. Scorpion
I was disappointed with even Vulture and Electro. It's like very simple things to do, and you
Vulture
can even
I
say,
expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
Vulture I expected that to be kind of mid in terms of prediction wise. Electro, it was up in the air, right? But the ones that we were excited for was Rhino and Scorpion. I was expecting a little bit more out of that, and it wasn't. It was just a little too straightforward.
Granted, this is their first time.
Yeah.
So hopefully that they learn from their mistakes.
Hopefully, get rid of the damn Mary Jane mission.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, like, oh yeah, I think they're not going to have Mary Jane missions. I will get like they're going to get backlash for that too. It's like Mary Jane, and a lot of people were like, people were confused about Spider-Man 2. I see this online all the time, and people were like, oh, this is a co-op game. It's like, dude, this is not a co-op game. It's a single-player game. It's a Peter-centric story.
Yeah,
they've been saying that in the announcement when Spider-Man 2 was announced. Can be focusing in on Peter. That's why you're probably going to get the black suit for Peter. Miles, what I said is it's going to be very much similar to like the Arkham games, right? That you'll sometimes play as Miles, but you're not going to switch automatically where he's in a different part of the city or anything like that. You're being Peter first and foremost, and Miles will tag team on certain missions.
Let me
piggyback
Nightwing
or
Let
Robin.
me piggyback what you just said. No, that makes a lot of sense. Do you think they'll pull like a Last of Us type of thing, like where again it's gonna be a majority, like a part B type thing they do, like a good chunk's gonna be Peter, and then like they'll cut it away from it after you get the suit or something like that, or like a few.
No, I think that was like about 40 and 60, right? 60% was Ellie, right? And you would say 40 was like Abby, right?
Well, not really. One more argue is 50-50. You can argue 50 because the game was, you can argue.
Well, like I said, I think it's not going to be a 50-50 thing. I think, like they said, it's a first and foremost Peter Parker storyline.
Yeah.
Right? And Harry is going to be a big focal point of the story, and probably Eddie Brock.
Yeah, they recast Harry too. By the way, the actor, y'all, it's a different.
Yeah,
actor.
The actor is the same actor that played Heimdall.
Yeah.
And Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, he's a fantastic actor. So I kind of like I get it. They're trying to do the face mocap and all that. Rather have had him though, but it is what it is. Hopefully, the new guy is also pretty good. But I'm saying like. It's just gonna be like Arkham. Like you're 80% Batman, 90% Batman, and then sometimes you'll play as Catwoman and like Arkham Knight and City, right? And when you have Miles on missions, I think you'll switch between the two, like you did with Robin, right? When you were doing like the Harley Quinn stuff in Arkham Knight, and you got to switch between the two and do tag team takedowns.
Yeah,
that's absolutely what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm actually all for that.
I think co-op would ruin it. I'm gonna be honest.
It's gonna be interesting too. Like I don't know if you remember Yuri Watanabe, the cop that helps you.
I think she'll be a part of Spider-Man 2. Like she'll be a anti-hero kind of thing. Like she kills like criminals, right?
She's an enemy because she's Wraith. Wraith is a killer. It's like Wraith sees himself as an anti-hero / hero, but it's really not a hero. He just kills for the sake of killing. Like he's killing not villains, but killing criminals. So unless it's gonna be something similar to like like Electro was kind of like a part of the story, but kind of wasn't a part of the story. Like he was kind of like a piece. Maybe they'll do something like that, but a little bit more. But I think she'll have a little bit more weight to it because she obviously was a big part of Spider-Man.
Yeah, Peter's life. Yeah. So she could be integrated to the main story, or she might be a side mission arc, like side story thing, which is also a thing that they can absolutely do. But I do think they're going to play the angle like she's not a villain, but she's an anti-hero. But Spider-Man does not also care for anti-heroes, right? Doesn't like heroes killing people. Yeah. So like that's definitely going to happen where they're going to conflict with viewpoints, right? So it's going to be interesting to see Wraith and Spider-Man kind of attack each other in terms of ideology. So, but like overall, dude, I think Wolverine's going to be also awesome, by the way. I think it's going to be dope to see. And it's probably going to be rated M. And hopefully, like, dude, I'll be disappointed if it's not rated M. You got freaking the people that did Spec Ops: The Line. Woo, that'd be amazing. And like I said, very much they kind of like hinted that Wolverine will be part of the universe within Spider-Man, and I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen that they segue into X-Men, because that in of itself would be a video game. But I don't know what you guys think in the chat though. If you think an X-Men game will be like in the cards for Insomniac, because I think it's a possibility. I think especially if Wolverine does well, you could see an X-Men game. Now, whether or not it'll be like X-Men, like Legends of Apocalypse or something like that, I got no clue. But I don't know what type of genre you guys would want an X-Men game to be. But I'm trying to think too. Like Insomniac's, like also I wanted to mention because Ryan McCaffrey, and I think someone like posted, like I think it was Benjamin, by the way, that posted this, and about Ryan McCaffrey talking about like Xbox output, but he also talked about Insomniac, and he thinks that it would slip out of fall 2023. I don't think that. A reason why is you look at Insomniac's track record, and Insomniac's track record is really spot on. They don't really delay their games because Ratchet & Clank came on time. Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered came on time. Why wouldn't Spider-Man 2 come on time? I think they're confident. I think absolutely they are freaking confident in that game coming out in fall 2022. Or 2023, sorry. I don't know why I said 2022. But fall 2023. Let me see. I need Deadpool. I think Deadpool would show up in an X-Men game.
Nah, my bad. I had a small detour.
You have X-Men, the Ninja Turtle treatment? Okay, I see you. All
right, so Spider-Man. All right, DLC. Let's get into DLC for that game. They spoiled this for 2018. That's why the game is already goated as it is. You had tons of content. Spider-Man 2. Now, I mean, obviously, Kraven the Hunter is the big bad guy from what we're seeing in the trailer.
Are you sure he's the big bad guy? Though?
Hey, Kraven the Hunter is a big part of this story. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
It's a big part.
Is he the overall big bad? Probably
it ain't Kingpin. It ain't Kingpin.
It's Venom.
I'm gonna say it's well, obviously, but I'm saying
they're adapting the Last Hunt, right? Because of Peter with the black suit and all that, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna use it to fight against Kraven. And then it's going to go off of him, right?
But who is it go to? Because Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock.
This is my prediction. This is my prediction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to have Proto Venom, right?
Okay.
Harry escapes somehow, right?
Well, he was already let out. If you beat Miles Morales, he was kind of let. No, remember they was letting him out. Remember Harry?
Oh no, yeah.
They was letting him out. He was waking up out of the coma, and he was like, "Hey, get him out. He's been in there too long." But Kurt, what was it? Not Kurt. What was it? Doc. It was the other doctor. The lizard guy. I think
he's gonna go on a rampage. Peter's gonna beat him. It's gonna come off, and then it's gonna like follow Peter home or something like that and latch onto him. And then he wakes up and gets the black suit. Something.
You sure you're like copying Spider-Man 3 the film? Man, you know that's a little.
Yes, sir. Like, that's what we're gonna do.
You gonna have him sleep? You gonna have him sleep, having nightmares? It's gonna just material.
No, not nightmares. But he's gonna be like, yo, what is this suit, man?
Yeah, you know what he just said? You heard what he just quoted Spider-Man 3 to the T. Like it's gonna follow him home.
I absolutely did.
It's gonna follow.
I damn well did. I'm proud about it because let's be honest.
Or follow him home.
Like Peter, like. How else would you do it? Where Peter is like he would feel some sort of way if the thing latches onto him, and he just lets it happen. And he's just like, oh, it's totally fine. Like that big ugly creature right there. Easy. I just thought is on me. It's totally fine.
Easy. Have a rift happen, and Eddie Brock is at a bar and just drops at the bar.
No, but I think Eddie's going to be integral to the story. I think so. Like he's already established.
Wait, okay.
Within the universe,
they said it's a Peter-centric story, so more likely the Daily Bugle might come back into play this, and maybe, but I don't know.
I don't think Peter's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think he's going back to the Bugle.
I think what they'll do is have Eddie kind of contact Peter, and then like he's going to try to take more pictures of Spider-Man. Then they butt heads and. He's going to do something that Eddie's going to hate while Peter has the suit and all that, right?
As long as the Green Goblin does not take any notes from that god awful Spider-Man 2 plot where he was like sick and he needed Spider-Man's
Oh, you're
blood.
talking about Amazing
The
Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah. I hope to God they don't do that. Just don't do that. Like,
Yes, they're taking bits and pieces of it, right?
But don't copy.
Where like his mom has a similar disease as Harry, right? And Harry's mother died, and Norman's trying to prevent that.
But Norman's already, we already know Norman's working on the glider because we saw it, and we saw the helmet.
Yeah, he has a face mask and the bombs. It's gonna be interesting. I don't think he'll be like Green Goblin in the second game. I absolutely think he'll be Green Goblin in the third game.
Good point. I mean, it's possible, very, very possible, because we might see the fall of Oscorp or something, and that might trigger him becoming Green Goblin. I don't know. It's so
that or Son's death.
That too. So that's another one. That's a good point. Wow.
I wanted to mention one thing. I think Aunt May's death will be very integral to his like depression and like anger when he has the suit. I think that's going to be a big factor in that game. I'll be shocked if they don't do that.
Possible. I mean, what else could you possibly do? Unless they're not killing off MJ, right? They're not going to kill off MJ. I don't see them doing nothing dark like that to trigger it. It's got to be.
Well, for what?
Like to trigger like a crazy ounce of rage out of the suit. I'm guessing.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's just going to be because of his, like him mourning his aunt.
You think he'll have like PTSD from the moment? From what we've seen, I don't know. Because I actually know he shouldn't, because Miles Morales the game showed that he was pretty much in good spirits. You know what I mean, Peter?
I mean, we see him in good. Does that really mean
that's true.
You're in good spirits? Like I could be looking like I'm fine, but in reality, I'm not really fine. I'm still struggling internally, right?
They might.
So I think it's going to be very integral to the story.
You think they'll probably play up mental health to be that trigger? That you mean it's possible?
Anything really?
It's possible.
Someone says, Rob says, spoilers. Listen, bro, that game came out back in 2018. What do you mean?
It is 4 years. If you have not played the masterpiece that is Spider-Man 2018, you were never going to play that masterpiece, which is Spider-Man 2018.
Remastered came out 2 years ago.
Exactly.
I know he's thinking this. Shout out to Rob.
What's up, Aaron? What's up, bro? Shout out to Callie. He says, tell Red I said, what's good? There you go. What's up? Shout out to everybody who came through, man. Appreciate y'all. Let's get into the fun topic. You ready? Get into the fun topic. So how do we do this? How do we do this, brother? How do we do this? Call of Duty is back up again. Now listen to this. All right. Now, Jim Ryan, bring this back a little bit, catch you guys up a little bit. Jim Ryan turned down a 10-year deal for Call of Duty. We all thought, okay, maybe Jim was just doing that to prolong the deal or prolong the action. So, FTC, whatever, get involved, the regulators. And we found out that there was some more restrictions in that deal. So he turned that down because it turns out, according to Microsoft, they're willing to give Sony the ability to put Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus subscription services. Now, before I continue, who remembers on a certain podcast here, we talked about another thing that they said prior, because Activision legit came out and this was trending on Twitter. Y'all remember this, those of you that be on Twitter. Activision flat out said they have no intentions on putting Call of Duty or any of their games in any subscription service, whether it be Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. So the fact that this is now coming up now, what does this tell you? This tells you, and like I said prior to you guys, even Hunter said it to you, everything Activision has said in terms of like, denying everything, saying, we're not doing X, Y, Z. They're saying that to do what, Red Hood? To secure those golden parachutes. That's it.
I wanted to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Because like to clear some things up. They did say like they wouldn't put their games on a subscription if the deal does not go through. If the deal does go through, of course, Microsoft owns them, so they would, of course, want to put their games on Game Pass. But now that will be said. That being said, a lot of people don't realize is they have the ability to put their games on PlayStation Plus. But you know what? Does that mean it's going to happen? No. What Microsoft would do is say, hey, if you want our games on PlayStation Plus, we want $80 million. Like a really high amount of money for that to come over to PlayStation Plus. You think Sony would want to pay something really high? And those are imaginary numbers. No one really knows. But they would really strong arm them for a really like bad deal that Sony would cave to like do it, which they wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point where it would just be on Game Pass. Default.
I mean, we know this is going to be obviously once the deal goes through, because from what's happening, right? I mean, obviously the FTC is supposedly going to sue over the deal, and it's going to be like probably taken it to court. It's going to be this long process. Microsoft's going to end up spending probably more money than necessary to keep the deal up and to make the deal go through, or they might leave the deal and go and take their resources and go elsewhere and go and buy something else. Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but it could be one or two ways, because there's a long, prolonged type of battle type of thing they can do with this, where they'll spend more money than necessary and the deal would go through. But by the time it goes through, guess what? You'll be waiting how many X amount of, years or whatever the time frame may be. Or they drop it and then they go and spend and buy something smaller or a few other developers. I mean, they already got 20 plus studios right now with the Bethesda acquisition, right? If I remember correctly, like 22 studios. So this is going to tie into what I'm about to say right here, because you guys were there with us when we watched the Game Awards. The Game Awards, I don't need to tell Red Hood this. Red Hood can tell you flat out. The Game Awards, in terms of being an Xbox viewer, it's got to be one of the most abysmal showings for an Xbox platform.
Hey, man, they got Game Pass ads.
I mean, yeah, Game Pass.
They had Ninja,
ads.
Man. They had Ninja.
Yeah, you had Ninja showing
Ninja
off.
got another bag from Microsoft. A lot of people don't realize from Mixer to now Game Pass.
Ninja, listen,
got the bag.
I hate on Ninja. A lot of people hate on Ninja. Ninja out here doing this thing. He got the bag for days. But listen, it ain't even about that. It's not even about that. I'm going by what we saw at the show for Xbox, right? If it wasn't for, what was it, As Dust Falls, and wasn't there another thing? There's a Dust Falls, something else. But if it wasn't for a Dust Falls winning Games for Impact, you would think, you forget all about Xbox being at the showcase. It was mostly PlayStation and Nintendo dropping the heavy hitters in terms of the announcements. There was nothing in here of crazy value that made you go, wow, Microsoft's really bringing the heat. Now, we did have Phil Spencer there. Phil Spencer, we talked about in the last show, he looked completely out of it. Like
he looked mad, bro. I said that in my stream. I said, you could go back to watch my reaction to the stream. I'm like, dude, he looks pissed.
Yeah.
Looks like someone crapped all over his cereal. I was like, dude, I don't think he's happy, because to be fair, he did get the news about the FTC,
I think so too. Yeah.
And suing it.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a happy camper.
Definitely wasn't.
So of course, he tried to look like he was all right. He definitely didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But
this was definitely up there, because I had that feeling that he definitely did that right there. Because it's like, what else is there really to say? You know what I mean? Because the announcement happened literally in the morning of the Game Awards. You know what I mean? So he was already having a bad day as it was. But it's like, bro, oh, man. But anyway, to go back even further with this, man, I had a few conversations on a few Xbox shows. You guys know I'm everywhere when it comes to podcasting, so I had a few conversations about this. What's funny about this is the response you get when you bring this up, because I remember I flat out said, "Yo, Microsoft, listen, this is right here. Everybody's talking about this deal. If you go everywhere, you go to Twitter, you go to YouTube, all you see is the FTC. All you see is this acquisition. Everybody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about what needs to be talked about. The fact that Microsoft is not in the conversation on in so many categories, when what we saw here is a problem. Sony out here by itself, which is superheroes by himself. Regardless of how you feel about superheroes, the fact that Sony is dominating the scene with the MCU being a big part of this, helping them, and Microsoft doesn't have a counter to that, it's pretty absurd. There's no Spawn game for Xbox. There's no DC deal with Xbox, like a Superman game, which me and Red Hood will be all over if that happened, right? There's nothing of that nature. Even two particular characters that we talked about multiple times on this podcast, they're actually getting games now, finally, but guess what? They're multiplats, and they're not going to be exclusive to Xbox or PlayStation. Those are being done by, EA? EA Motive is making, I think, the Black Panther game, and Iron Man is also
Yes.
getting one, if I remember correctly. Iron Man's getting
Iron
one.
Man and I think Black Panther.
Yeah, so EA Motive's making the Black Panther and Iron Man's making the other. But the fact that Microsoft's not in that conversation, you see what I'm saying, is a missed opportunity. Now, and I said this on a podcast. I had dudes in chat saying, "Oh, you want Microsoft to be like PlayStation." I think a lot of you in the chat will agree with me 110% when I say that if Sony has games like Death Stranding, which are competing on the narrative side, or God of War competing for the narrative side, that are very AAA budget, amazing storytelling, over the top, visual, cinematography, right? If Sony has these type of games and they're just wowing you, and you're like going, bro, I want a PS5 off of stuff like that, wouldn't it make sense logically for Microsoft to have something like that to appease them, to appease their fan base on the Xbox sides?
The only thing I could think of that comes close is like Hellblade. That's the only thing I can think about.
Yeah.
That's the only game I could see that they will try to push really hard. That is like having a narrative focus.
Yeah.
And to see what they actually do with it, right?
Now let's bring that back, though. Let's bring that back. You said Hellblade. Yes, Hellblade. I have no worries for Ninja Theory. I think Ninja Theory will. We all can agree it will be amazing, because if you played Hellblade 1, these guys did God's work on a budget. They were incredible what they did with the first one. I actually loved the first one. It was really, really good. Even the soundtrack was fire. Going into Hellblade 2, the fact they have a full-fledged team and their team has a full budget. I mean, the game looks good. I'm excited for that. I'm not worried about Hellblade 2. What I am worried about, though, is Avowed. And this is where we come back to this. There was no update whatsoever. Now, again, I'm not saying show all your guns at the Game Awards. I'm not saying legit I'm not saying blow your load at the Game Awards, right? But the fact that there's no updates on stuff like Avowed.
I thought Hellblade would have been there.
At least Hellblade, right? At least Hellblade. There was no updates on Avowed or Hellblade. Even the game that many people were still waiting on updates for, and that's Project Dark. Remember, this game is the 4A studio they were talking about. This game is in developmental hell right now. There is no info for it, and that right there is still kind of like, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point right now? And that's where I'm like, I feel like they're missing so much ground here, a lot. And I'm not saying that to obviously be petty or nothing like that. I'm just going by what we're seeing here. Like, it's just, there's not a lot here. And the fact that you have, a lot of articles coming out and people saying, flat out, Microsoft looked like one thing at the Game Awards. And they were like, what? They look like they actually do need Activision. I'm sitting there going right now, listen. If Microsoft has over 20 plus studios,
and they still haven't put out a game,
put out a game right now, and they're this incompetent with just the 20 plus studios, what makes you think Call of Duty is going to change the thing? And people might go, "Oh, that's a weird take, right?" It's actually not a weird take.
It's not a weird
what we're saying, because how the internet is. The internet would be like, "Oh, that's a weird take."
Think about it, Big Cloud, right?
Facts. What are they doing?
What they would have to do, and people said if they buy Activision Blizzard, that they would have to fundamentally change the company, right? They would have to actually change the culture, actually change the everything in terms of work environment to make things better. I don't think Xbox is able to do that.
I think that
could
will
be
happen
wrong,
through globalization.
And the thing is, they can prove me wrong, and I would want them to prove me wrong. But there are other studios say otherwise.
Yeah,
it's just they got to do something. And I will say this: there's a theory going around too, because you know how PlayStation is putting announcing a lot of new games, right?
Yeah.
The only new game they really announced this whole year that's, you could say second party, right, with Kojima, is Death Stranding, and then Spider-Man, right, and then Factions, and then we got no other news, because what they're trying to do in terms of strategy is so there's no new ammunition towards the FTC and all that, right?
Yeah,
I think Xbox is also trying to do the same thing too, probably. At this point,
I agree. No, I agree with you 110%. I just
which is bad for fans. I think it's bad for fans in general.
It's bad for everybody.
I think for PlayStation fans, for Xbox fans, the only good thing is hey, dude, you on the PlayStation side, you're getting the Horizon expansion. I don't care for that game, but that's still a W. you're getting also Death Stranding 2, which is probably coming out in 2024, and you're getting Spider-Man 2 in fall 2023. And then, of course, you're getting hints already, which we'll probably talk about as Blue Point as well. So, like, they're hinting at that, but they're not trying to, like, show off so many games to the point where Microsoft will be like, look at all these games that they announced. And look at our games that are announced.
And that's
doesn't compare.
The scary part, too, because you had games like, well, we still don't have, we don't know what Jade Raymond's working on, right? But we know Jade Raymond's game with Haven Studios. We still got Demolition Games. We still got Fire Sprite. I mean, they have still got surprise they still haven't shown yet, too. And that's the other thing. So it's like, you have something, you have a lot to look forward to. But the thing is, it's like, going back to this, it's hard for me to get excited. I guess that's the word I'm trying to say for the other side here from what we've seen. It's like there's not a lot here for me to get excited for in the Xbox camp. That makes sense. There's not a lot. There's not. Like, and I'm not trying to be weird, but it's the facts here. It's not a lot. Yeah, they're gonna have games. Nobody's saying that they won't. You know, they're gonna get games out there eventually. But here's the thing. A lot of people were bringing this up, too. And this is where I'm going to bounce this back to the community. Everybody in the chat, because I heard this going around. People were saying that Microsoft was intentionally making themselves look weak. Now, if that's the plan, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't afford to do that in 2023. You can't afford to do that in 2023. No. We can't afford another Game Awards show looking this grim on Xbox. That's just my take on the whole situation. Just can't. Yeah, I think Aaron brought that up. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's, you know, every platform has its own demographic and gamers, but the thing is, too, options are not bad. It's never a bad thing to have options for everybody. That way, they're not left out of the conversation, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, if Sony's the home of superhero games, in this case, Marvel games, why isn't Microsoft the home of DC games? You see what I'm saying, everybody in the chat? That's what I'm talking about. Why are they not in the same conversation? I'm not saying copy them to a T. I'm saying get with the program with everybody else. Get those games out there. Have different, have different options.
I think like all systems need to have different options. I do agree. Like the biggest like complaint for PlayStation, right, is multiplayer games, right? Personally, I think multiplayer games in general aren't that great. That's just me though. But I understand that point where multiplayer games, there aren't many first-party PlayStation games that are multiplayer-centric, right? The second thing is RPGs, man. Western RPGs, like PlayStation is lacking when it comes to Western RPGs. And they definitely should like focus in on it for like a little bit, like kind of cover all their like angles, right? And the same thing goes with Xbox, right? So it's like, I think you should have like a diverse lineup of games.
Yeah,
and that'll appease
a lot
of your audience.
By the way, too, was there any information for like was there like, I don't know if you guys know, but was there like any information / rumors going around about an upcoming Xbox showcase? Because
I don't know, dude. All I hear is Aaron Greenberg and Phil's like, we got more news to talk about. They do this every end of the year for next year. So I'm just like, at this point,
I'm kind of
I'll
burnt
wait
out with
until
Aaron.
I see it, bro. I'll wait until I see it.
No,
I don't want to hear it from Aaron or Phil. I need to see the games.
Let me throw this at you too, because you brought up Sony didn't really do their showcase. Now we were talking about that before, but here's the thing: did they really need to do a showcase? No.
A lot of their partnerships, right?
Yeah.
Which we've noticed. I do think that they were planning on doing a showcase, like I said,
but they scrapped it
with the Activision Blizzard. They were like, nope. And some of their games were announced like differently, right? Like the Silent Hill thing. That was in a Silent Hill broadcast, right?
Yep.
Resident Evil 4, that was done in a state of play.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the list goes on and on. Death Stranding 2 was at the Game Awards. Horizon expansion was at the Game Awards. And like I just don't like, they're not gonna have one. They'll probably have one next year, maybe, but I think they're trying to wait until this whole Activision Blizzard thing blows over.
Yeah.
For PlayStation as well.
How you feel about this? It's kind of threw me through a loop too. I think this was talked about before, right? I think they it was kind of leaked before, but Horizon is getting a multiplayer co-op. So we're getting that finally.
Listen. I know people are excited for that, but me, I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care, bro. I told you I dropped Forbidden West.
Monster Hunters. Come on, bro. This is basically Monster Hunters.
Bro, if I were to, I just play Monster Hunter Rise or something.
Bro,
on PC.
This is like Monster Hunters with the damn.
Listen, I'm not faulting. Like, I think that's great for people that love Horizon. It's just not something I'm interested in.
You're missing the point on that one. I'm excited for it. It looks good. I'm excited for that. I don't know if you're both playing as like like they do like that mirror thing, like they're both Aloy, but like one's like so I don't know if you're playing as like a villager or what. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but yeah, co-op for that is happening. That's gonna be cool. They're probably trying to throw as much out here going into part 3 as possible. That's probably what it is. Like they want to end part 3 with a bang, so they really want to include more. I'm okay with it. I'm right with it.
I'll give another hot take. I want them to, after their third Horizon game, make a brand new series. I just don't care for Horizon.
I'm kind of
just make a brand new series.
Yeah.
And hopefully this time around, it'll be an interesting character this time around. I know people love Aloy, but yeah, I think she's pretty boring. I think she's very one note, and I don't find her like interesting.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Oh man, Tomb Raider. Before I get into Tomb Raider, you need to put some respect on Aloy, okay, sir? Aloy is okay. I can't say she's goated.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say she's goated. I guess she's goated, but she's a good. Okay, she's a good character.
Good. You don't even like the character. Stop capping right now.
In the first one, I love the character. Part 2,
you love the character, right?
Part two.
Yeah?
I'm not really on the same. I'm not really. I don't feel the same after part 2. But part 3, I hope they kind of bring back the spunk that was Aloy in part 1.
Man, Big Cloud, you should be honest. You just say you just don't care for the character. What? It wasn't for you.
It was a good. Listen,
that's just me. Listen. I'm being honest to the chat. Like, I'm not gonna dunk on the character like that. I'm gonna point out flaws for the character and just move on. Like, the character is not interesting for me. Like, it is what it is. I think Atreus is a more interesting character than Aloy.
I mean, she lost. When she lost like the whole lonely rebel thing. I think that kind of took from the character. Like, before she had to prove herself to every tribe in the first one. In the second one, she already proved herself. So it's kind of like there's not much else there. No sense of impact there. You just kind of go into the tribes talking and taking missions and side quests. I kind of want a little bit more loss or something, more layers to her going to part 3. But again, part 3 looks to be the final one, I think. I say that, right? We said that about Ragnarok and everything, so I don't know. You never know. So, yeah, there's that for Horizon. Good news, though. It's exciting news. I'm not sure if you guys platinumed Horizon or played or still playing Horizon, but it's a good game. Go definitely play it up for sure. Next story here is courtesy of Crystal Dynamics. They're finally back in the conversation. So it turns out that Crystal Dynamics has struck a deal with Amazon Games. They're actually going to publish the next Tomb Raider game. So it's going to use Unreal Engine 5 as well. How you guys feeling about this? How you feeling about this? You excited for Tomb Raider? I mean, listen.
This is weird. So, technically, I'm trying to remember who bought them. It was, oh my gosh, someone in the chat can remind me. But Square Enix sold Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal to the, was it the parent company of like Volition, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Embracer. Yeah. There we go. I remember now. Embracer. So I thought Embracer would publish the game, but they're not doing that, and they're just handing it off to Amazon Games and having some sort of deal with Amazon Games for them to publish the game, and I guess invest a lot of more money into the Tomb Raider game. But listen, we heard about that leaked script. And
don't mention it. Please don't mention it.
Listen. All I gotta say is that leak script was so bad is so trash. It's so cringe. If they use that script, just cancel the game, bro. Nobody wants to play that damn game.
I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna be honest. Just cancel it.
I'm gonna put it like this, man.
Script.
I'm gonna put it like this. At least they answered one question. We now know why Jonah kept getting friend zoned. There you go. If that was the case, that's actually the case. If they do it that way, listen, Tomb Raider. This is a sequel, right? It's not like a reboot. If I remember correctly, they said
it sounded like it's like to people. God of War 2018 is a soft reboot, but in reality, it's still a sequel.
Yeah,
I think that's what they mean by that.
Okay.
So when they said soft reboot in terms of the script or reboot, I think they meant soft reboot, and it's still technically a sequel.
I'm gonna say because the thing is for Tomb Raider, one can argue you don't really have to reboot it. All you gotta do is just go back to the same dark type of. Go back to that dark, gritty nature that made the first one. You know what I mean? The first reintroduction of Tomb Raider. Go back to that one. Because I actually thought that was the best Tomb Raider. I mean, Rise of Tomb Raider, a lot of you guys hold to like a higher standard than the first one. I mean, I personally like the first one a little bit better than Rise of the Tomb Raider, my honest opinion. Really enjoyed that. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I mean, if you guys check my PSN, I booted up for like, 10 minutes and have not gone back since to play it, and I have to go back to play it. So there's that. Sorry about that, but yeah, I have to go back in and experience it. What else is there though? I mean, okay. It's possible though that it could be really, really good. What you think, Reddit? Like.
Bro, if it's from the leaked script thing, no
opportunity, huh? None.
Bro,
you on the guy?
If it was from I'll tell people if it's from that Colin reenacting the script thing in that certain Sacred Symbols episode, which they got DMCA'd by Square. All I gotta say is no. That is so bad.
Oh Lord, don't even bring it. Not even 10.
Like I'm just like, dude, what are you guys thinking, bro? what made you guys think that this was a great script?
Yeah. Shout out to John the Don, channel member for 10 months. What's up, John? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. You said Shadow of the Tomb Raider was average. It felt average playing it. I got to get back on it.
It was boring. That's just me.
The puzzles, usually puzzles are fun. Like Uncharted does the puzzles and they're like fun and creative in ways. There was nothing really fun about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, especially that thing where you had to do the little carts. You had to like keep turning. I'm like, what is this? I was like sitting there going, what am I doing again? But I don't know. Who knows? I might like it once I give it another chance. You know how people are. You gotta give it a chance, Big Clay. You gotta give it a chance. So who knows?
Deep down, you know you're not gonna like it.
No. I forgot to bring this up for Kojima. So it turns out Norman Reedus has, he just now started the mocap production for the game. So looks like that game is pretty much probably going to be 2025 or 2024.
No, 2024.
Yeah,
I don't see 2025.
It's up there, but it's going to, depending on how quick they get it done. This was actually confirmed by Kojima on his actual podcast, which, by the way, this man is, he's dropping gems on that. He's really dropping gems on that.
I still
podcast.
need to listen to those.
Yeah, he's been dropping some gems on it. So if you guys want to really pick up on a lot of more snippets.
I think didn't he have like Jordan Peele on once or something like that?
I'm not really sure. Did he?
I think he might have.
I know Jeff Keighley was on for like the first intro show he did, or the first show he did, and then since then he's been having everybody else like. What was the guy? Was Del Toro? Was Del Toro on or supposedly coming through?
No, I don't think so.
Or he took like a picture with Del Toro. I forgot. It's one of those things he was on Twitter with. But yeah, that's what's going on. Before I get into this other, I might as well mention this game because it's going to segue into Red Hood's game of the generation. But he's going to talk about Final Fantasy. But High on Life. Is anybody getting that game? Did anybody see the appeal in it? I saw the game. Listen. I thought it was going to be interesting. But
from Slow-Mo, listen, I haven't played the game. He said the combat wasn't that great. Like he thinks the combat is like it's mediocre or serviceable. Like I'm paraphrasing. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. You can tell me if that wasn't the case. But like, if you like Rick and Morty jokes, then you'll like the game. But you're like having to like overlook the gameplay. But if you don't like Rick and Morty jokes, and you're also probably not gonna like the gameplay, then yeah, you're probably not gonna like the game.
Somebody got me weak. You know, like the little sword from Power Rangers. What's that joint called? What was it called? The White Ranger sword, the Saba. What's it called? Saba. Yeah. Somebody had me weak. Somebody said so. They basically copied Saba and put it on a. Somebody got me weak when he said that. But you know, I'm not excited. Bro. I don't really care for much for it, but
I'm not trying to pay for Game Pass. I'm probably gonna get that game on a deep sell on Steam. Deep sell.
He said that's what it is. Look, yeah, well, there you go. Saba on your weapon. Let me get these super chats real quick. Shout out to John the Don with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. He says, do yourself a favor, Big Cloud. Don't bother with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Aside from the Aztec/Latin American inspiration, the game is meh out of 10. I mean, I was getting that vibe. I was getting those type of vibes from the game just by playing it. There wasn't really a whole lot really happening. You know what I mean? I have no problem with the game having slow build up because that usually leads some good payoff. But it just, I didn't really care much for it early on. Shout out to Aaron Sommers, a channel member for 21 months. Silver tier. I appreciate you, Aaron. I'm still waiting for you to come through for the show, brother. Still waiting for you. He says we need way more likes for Big Cloud. Yeah, you heard the man. Hit that like button. We have 80 plus people in the chat. Hit that like button. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. So, High on Life. That was High on Life. Do you want to hit him with that Final Fantasy, your game, or should I go into another game which is worthy of being mentioned? Not playing, but I can go and tell about Final Fantasy.
Oh man, which one?
No, I was gonna piss on your parade. We got what's the name dropping next month? Dead Space remake. I
thought you were gonna say also Forspoken.
Wait, that's next month. That's
next month.
I forgot about Forspoken. Did you?
So which Final Fantasy game you talking? 16? You talking Crisis Core?
Crisis Core. That's one you've been playing, right? How'd you feel about Crisis
Core?
Core?
I've been playing it. Yeah. It's definitely a remake. It definitely feels like a remake, your traditional remake. Yeah. Couple cool tweaks that they did in the game. Overall, I'm enjoying it. It was like $50. Definitely think it's would I rather have it been $40? Absolutely. I think remakes like that should be $40, but whatever. At least they're not charging $70 or something like that at that. But yeah, it's a PSP game, and so don't expect something like graphical level detail as like Final Fantasy VII remake, but it's still a good graphical overhaul. So if you compare the original to the Crisis Core Reunion, it's a big noticeable jump.
So it falls more in line with the remakes or remaster. It doesn't fall in the remaster type of combo.
No, I mean, it depends what you mean by that. Do people consider Shadow of the Colossus a remaster or a remake? You know what I mean? I consider Shadow of the Colossus a remake. So it's it depends on what your definition. I think it's a traditional remake. I think a remaster was if they literally took the original game, didn't even touch the assets, and bumped up the resolution and higher frame rate. That's a remaster to me.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're touching the textures and making them look way better, that to me is a remake. I've always said that.
Yeah. No.
But overall, it's a really fun game. I haven't gotten too into it. I've been doing all the side mission content. I'm on chapter 2. Chapter 2, and I'm level 20 right now. So I've been doing a lot of the side content, and it's has similar combat to remake, but also not really. It's you have your ATB gauge, but it's also an MP gauge essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your MP gauge, your health, and the shortcuts to your spells and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still has kind of the same equipment slots, but I haven't been full into the game yet. And then it does have this slot system where if it hits a certain number, you can have endure damage or have like no MP cost, no ATB cost, and all that. So like then the level system too, it's like if you hit like all 7s or certain 7s, you'll level up. So like you can definitely tell it is a PSP game at the end of the day though. Like when certain character models like turn to the side and it looks like not a natural turn to the side type of thing. Like you could definitely notice that.
How you feel?
What?
No, I was about to say something else. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me see. Even the someone says even the Final Fantasy remake textures were pretty bad at launch. Yeah, that was an Unreal Engine problem. There are still some things when it comes to intergrade, but like if you go into the files, like the door thing, the door wasn't loading correctly or anything like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and then Benjamin's like mentioning slot machines basically gambling during battle. Yeah, but there's no way to at this moment like stop it to like hit on a certain like numbers or anything like that.
Okay. And a lot. Speaking of Final Fantasy, because this dude right here, he keeps giving me the stink eye everywhere I go. Like I show up in the street, people like, "Hey, Big Cloud, good to see you," but you owe us, you owe the people something. So first of all, I don't owe nobody nothing. No, I'm playing. I guess I prolonged it too much. I guess I prolonged it a little too long, didn't I?
Yeah, I was gonna say one more thing. Like, Rich is talking about it's a glorified remaster. No, I don't agree with that. I definitely do not agree that it's a glorified remaster.
So you feel strong?
You can have that opinion. Yeah. But you gotta have that same opinion when it comes down to Shadow of Colossus remake or any of those things. Because if you think that's the case, then those other games are also remasters by that definition. So, but like I said, there's like the definitions have been changing when it comes to remake.
It kind of has, yeah.
FF7 remake is very much different to your core like remake, right?
Yep.
I consider FF7 remake a sequel that's also a semi remake.
Yeah.
And then you got Resident Evil 2 remake that isn't really like a remake but a reimaginative of the game, right?
The situation with Last of Us was a full-fledged remake in terms of assets and all of
that. That's what I'm saying. Like if you think Crisis Core Reunion is a remaster, a glorified remaster, you have to also say Last of Us is a glorified remaster. Freaking Shadow of Colossus is a glorified remaster. What is it? What was that other one for PlayStation 4? Medieval something?
Medieval.
That's a glorified remaster. So at the end of the day, that's like if we're gonna go by that opinion.
Reimagining? Yeah, pretty much. I agree with that. Final answer. I agree. Let's see here. Definitely would agree. So, what was I about to say? Looks like I got I'll let Red Hood decide. I'll let Red Hood decide my fate in this. So, Red Hood, you have two options.
I don't want no options. I want you to finish FF7 remake that you honestly made the promise, right?
I know.
Which it was not on stream, by the way.
You let me finish.
No. Let me say my piece. All right.
I was gonna give you that.
Let me say my piece because I had work the next day, and this man says, "Listen, I'll play FF7 remake, the whole entirety on stream." And you got to play this like last match of golf. And I said, sure. And this man, last time he streamed FF7 remake, it was like, I think it was September or something like that. September? And this man has the audacity to skip a really good game, but then go and play games like Callisto Protocol. Are you kidding me? A game that has broken animations that charge you $70 and the combat doesn't look fun at all. It looks so damn repetitive and the story is uninteresting. And the only thing it got going is good freaking graphics and a good sound design. Come on now.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about Callisto Protocol. Even though you guys have seen that on the screen, I don't even want to talk about that game. That game has given me some of the weirdest, so if you watch my review of it, I got like a good reaction from it, but I got some weird replies from it. Like dudes like, "Oh, it's amazing." Like if you like it, you like it. Obviously, I'm not saying you're wrong for that's your opinion. But I had some weird takes from it. Like dudes like going, "Oh, it's do you not play Dead Space or do you not know the Dead Space game? I'm like, bro, there's a Dead Space game and then there's this drastically different. How they did this, very, very heavy. So
let me say this again. Like, listen. That was me being like,
that's you
like you like the game.
See?
Listen. If you like the game, you like Callisto Protocol. Not a game for me. I just don't really care for what they offered. But hey, okay. I just don't find it good.
Well, I was giving you the option, Fraud, to you tell the people in Big Cloud streaming Final Fantasy Remake.
Oh man, when?
Yeah, you tell.
Dude, when are you freaking available to stream something?
I'm saying you tell them, and then I'll tell you the answer.
Dude, it should be. You know what? It should be Saturday. It should be tomorrow. Starting tomorrow.
Okay, there's a time frame for Saturday.
I don't freaking. Jeez.
Nah, so you gotta look at it.
Listen. You guys can also like drop some like recommendations in a time frame for Big Cloud to stream. Would 2 o'clock be good for you guys to watch Big Cloud play a great game? I think 2 p.m. is not too bad.
2 p.m.
I would think so.
Does the chat agree? 2 p.m. on Twitch.
2 p.m. EST.
And what I'll do is, and by the way, for those of you wondering, no, there's no ads on my. I turn ads off on Twitch because Twitch is intrusive with the ads. I was sitting there trying to watch a few things on there. I'm like, dude, I can't. Twitch has got to be the worst.
Someone said 2 a.m. What? Big Cloud is that? I mean, Big Cloud stays up late. I'm not gonna lie by that, but
2
I'm not, dude.
I'm finishing up Game of Thrones in 2 a.m.
2 a.m., bro. I would not be up because I got work, so I would not come to it 2 a.m. I'll be in bed.
I mean, if 2 a.m. doesn't work, 3 p.m. I'm sorry, or 4 p.m. I mean, any of those, it's fun. Yeah, I don't think any fights happening tomorrow, right? No fights happening tomorrow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
I wouldn't know, bro. Like, Meds would like let us know if something were like happening when it comes to fights, or Pablo.
Yeah. I don't think anything's crazy big's happened. So yeah, it might be the perfect time actually tomorrow just to go for it. What's up, Nathaniel? But might be worth that time. So yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitch, links in the description below. I'll be live tomorrow, playing some more Final Fantasy.
I don't know if you should just restart the whole game or whatnot, or if you're like, that's the thing, because I don't think you'll even remember the battle system in the game.
I remember a good chunk of it. Actually, no, I don't. I don't.
So you might have to restart that thing.
I might have to legit do like a full refresher on that one completely. Then I gotta learn the counter system again.
Someone.
Oh my god! Once you read that,
Lobo Gaming, being a platinum tier member for 3 months, said, "I heard a birdie that Big Cloud was capping for Callisto. LOL. Is that true? Big Cloud, were you capping for a while for this game?
Lobo
saying it was going to be game of the year.
Lobo
for 2022.
I don't know about that. Okay. Maybe I did make a claim like that before I played it because the game was hype on my list. I said that game might end up being game of the year for 2022. It might end up being up there, but the thing is, it ain't because I played it. Now, thing about Lobo though, Lobo has some nerve to post that because Lobo, you know what? I could tell you what Lobo does in his spare time, but I had to slap my thighs.
Oh man, I see what you did there.
Should I did there? Anyway,
I see what you did there.
Shout out to Lobo. What else was it that happened throughout?
Everyone knows that freaking reference. If you guys don't know that reference, oh boy.
This chat wild. I'm done. All right. So. What else happened news-wise? I'm trying to see what else was going down.
Let us know because I'm trying to think of. Death Stranding supposed to. It's not a live-action adaptation TV show, but I think it's supposed to be think it's a TV show or a movie, but it's gonna be set in the same universe. It's not gonna be the same characters though.
Wasn't there something for God of War as well? TV related?
Oh, it's going to be on Amazon Prime, and it has writers from The Expanse, but the showrunner from Wheel of Time, I think, and that's not a good thing. Like the writers from Expanse are great, The showrunner for Wheel of Time, trash. So I'm a little worried for that show now. I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie.
What,
I have
for
more
God of
hopes
War?
for that last. Yeah, the Wheel of Time showrunner, bro. That was trash.
Yeah.
The writers for Expanse are great, by the way. Expanse is a really great show. You guys should check it out on Amazon Prime. But I got more faith now in the Last of Us TV show for HBO for the Chernobyl showrunner compared to this Wheel of Time showrunner for God of War. That's a big yikes for me.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the first story, obviously, for Last of Us. So I do think Last of Us is going to be good. I mean, all the shots look great, what they've done so far with the TV show for that. It's just how they're going. I don't know how long they're going to do it. Obviously, a TV show. Like, is the whole, like,
I don't know.
first game
I think they're going to do
be,
10 episodes. I think they're going to be 10 episodes, an hour each.
And they're going to tell
like Game
the
of
whole
Thrones.
story? And tell the whole story of, like,
I don't know if it's going to be the whole story for the first game.
I'm not saying
it might not be.
That might be season 2 then. Like they might stop at, like, David or something. And the rest, you know what I mean, follows from there or something. I don't know.
They might make the HBO show for the first game go to 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then on third season they'll do part 2 for 2 seasons. Actually, no, that game is a lot longer than part 1. Actually, that story might go on for. What do you think? Part 2 would go for 3 seasons, probably.
Part 2, that story. I mean, that story.
Well, I'm saying like in length because that game took 20 hours, right? So it would be 3 seasons, maybe 4. It would not be 4.
It'd be like 4 seasons because you got to get her. You got to get Ellie's perspective. Then you got to do that that time jump back to tell Abby's. So that's going to take like another 2 seasons.
4 seasons just for that. So that'd be a 6-season show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even including part 3, the leak for Neil Druckmann working on Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah.
That's with Anon or something like that, who supposedly leaked it, that Neil is working on Part 3. I don't know how I feel, actually. I guess we could talk about that. I don't know. I really don't know like how I feel. Like I personally think after Part 3, time to move on. After Part 3,
I mean,
you can keep doing your show. Move on after Part 3. Do it like they're supposed to be working on a new IP, which I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't really care that much.
My
I'm not like Big Cloud that hated Part 2. I thought it was like the story, but I don't really care.
It divided the community. I will say that about Part 2. It definitely divided a lot of people on to the point where they're
definitely
sour.
dragged.
Yeah, it soured a lot.
Like you could tell. Like I literally said to Big Cloud on a stream, I was like, "Dude, are we near the end, bro?" Like I'm like,
I remember that
because like it was dragging. I was like, "Bro, like this got to wrap up." It's like, nope.
That's after I raided you. You were sitting like, because you were about to fall asleep. You got the raid. You're like, "Oh my god!" But I did remember telling you that. I was like, you're almost there. You're like, I'm almost there. Like, yeah, you're almost there. Your eyes lit up. But that's a bad thing if a game feels like a drag. Like you start playing and you're just like, dude, when does this end? Like I like whatever, but when does this end? You know, and the way it ends for Part 2, I mean, you liked it. Obviously the message was revenge is bad. That's the message. But the way it ends, it kind of. I don't know. It's like it leaves everybody broken and battered to a point where it's like with Part 3, how do you tell Part 3? Is Ellie even going to be a part? Right? Is Ellie even going to be a part of Part 3, or is Part 3 like a diversion that ties more into factions? Because factions is a whole new group. You know what I mean? That's a spin-off own group.
It's in San Francisco, right?
Yeah,
I think it's in San Francisco. So like. Part 3, it's going to be either 2 things, right? It's going to be Ellie as the main character and Abby tags along with Lev, or it's going to be Abby and Lev, and that's it.
I think it's more likely going to just be Abby and Lev because they disappear.
It depends on the cure thing, right? If it's the cure thing, Ellie's going to be very integral to the story.
Yeah, but you need from what we knew, from what we were told, right? Because that's what Neil Druckmann gave us details on. He said that the only guy to make the cure we killed in Part 1.
That is true.
So I doubt it's going to be cure related because that was the whole point of the choice. We chose the world, or we choose this girl over the world. So it's not going to be.
You know, they could write around that and be like, "There's this one other guy we didn't know about that was a doctor
that was in the background.
That we found him
survived the massacre.
Not in the background. Like they found a really like genius doctor in Florida or something like that, or
maybe
or Texas, right? And the Fireflies never met him or something like that. He's been surviving ever since like the outbreak.
Yeah, I get that. Shout out to Corey Ford, a channel member for 5 months. A big shout out to all the channel members, man. Go tier. He says, I'm excited for the gameplay of part 3 more than I am for the story. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. The story, I mean, the gameplay was fire in part 2. I hope that's what carried me through the game. It was just so good. Like, I love that. I am curious what else they do for part 3 in terms of gaming mechanics. But, yeah, definitely curious about that. But story-wise, again, I don't know. Dina, like, is Dina going to be a part of the story in part 3? You know, is she just done?
I mean, depending on Ellie, right?
You know what I'm saying? Is she done? Did they ever reconcile? That's another thing you got to ask yourself going into part 3. Obviously, with Tommy getting shot in the head, is Tommy even functioning still to carry on and go into a part 3? Y'all feel me? Like, what do you do?
I don't think so. I think he's stuck, bro.
Yeah,
Because remember, didn't you see he was limping and stuff?
Limping,
and, like, and he has like, well, no, I thought his eye was also blind too, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. They're trying to say it went through his eye, but I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know how you survived that with no proper medical care. I don't know how you do that, but
yeah, I think a lot of the characters are probably not going to be very much in the limelight. I think Ellie, Abby, and Lev. That's really it. And maybe I'm trying to remember Ellie's significant other. I forgot her name. Dina.
Yeah, I'm Dina.
Yeah, maybe potentially a flashback thing.
I don't know, man. It's so up there. Shout out to Iman, Rich Swag Lord, my brother. 14 months as a channel member, silver tier. Says FF. Well, actually, I'm gonna let you read that. Reddit. Go ahead.
Yeah, FF7 remake and RE2 remake are my personal bar of remakes. A lot of people are changing. Like I said, like definitions are changing now. Like, reimaginatives are like people's, like, I guess, favorite part for remakes now.
Yeah.
Like, to see what they change in terms of story and in terms of like fundamental gameplay mechanics.
Yep.
And all that.
He definitely, he definitely was good. Like, on some real, if y'all go by body count of Last of Us 2 and compare it to Ellie, I think even Angry Joe called that out. Tommy kills most of the people.
He kills.
He killed majority of the people in terms of henchmen and everybody. He killed a good chunk of them.
He killed the person that spit on Joel, like,
yeah, the one,
with a headshot, I think, right?
The one that says pendejo every 5 minutes. They killed him. That guy.
What about director's cuts? What do you mean, like? Are you talking like Last of Us Part 2 director's cut? I doubt there's gonna be a director's cut.
No, I think he says, like, what do they fall in line with? Like, are they remakes or remasters? That's a good question. Director's cuts.
Like, I'm confused.
Like,
I'm
are
confused
director's
still.
cuts of games considered remakes or remasters? Would you
so like Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. Oh, that's a remaster.
Yeah.
All they're doing is upping the res, and increasing frame rate. That's your traditional remaster, like the Uncharted collection for PS4.
Yeah.
With it being, I think it's 1080p, right, and 60 frames per second. That would literally just be a remaster, right? And Shadow of the Colossus on PS3 is a remaster. It's just up-res.
You said, what if it was all a dream for Ellie?
That would... I would laugh because
I would laugh too, yeah.
That is writing like off the whole entire storyline.
Yeah,
and I bet that would piss off the writers for Last of Us Part 2 greatly.
That would actually be
if they were to do something. Someone said Death Stranding director's cut.
Yeah, like
that is a remaster.
Like, she woke up and just like at home, and then you hear Joel out of nowhere say, "What's up, kiddo?" She's like, "Oh, I had this terrible dream. You died," and you know
that would get so many writers mad, and even programmers. They're like, "Dude, our game didn't matter."
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
No, they ain't got the goal to do that. That'd be too much anyway. I mean, you know, they moved on, so they moved on to their characters. So they're probably going to introduce somebody new. Unless Abby's gonna be the face, and if Abby's the face, what is that? So what the thing is, Abby's whole story was revenge, right? So Abby's whole story was revenge.
Well,
got
both their
revenge.
stories are all revenge, right?
But
Abby's
focus.
revenge was in the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah, then it
and
came
it had the after effects of her revenge, right?
Yeah.
Because she loses literally everybody, essentially, besides Lev, right?
Yeah.
Because she loses her, I don't even know what you call it, because that dude was having a kid with somebody else, and he had a thing for her in the past, whatever. So they all died, essentially, right? Whereas Ellie, like, when she got her revenge, who died in her camp? Like, that dude, Dina's
Dina's boyfriend
or ex-boyfriend slash like he was the father of her kid, right? He dies, and then Tommy gets
maimed really, really bad. Joel dies.
Well, Joel, that wasn't a part of the revenge for Ellie, though. That's the thing. That wasn't an after effect for her revenge.
I mean, he was the center of revenge plot, though. I mean, because he was the
no. I get that. I'm saying the after effects of revenge, right? Abby kills Joel. That's her revenge.
Oh, Jesse.
And then Ellie's revenge is killing all the members of Abby's group that killed Joel.
Yeah, his name was Jesse. That was his name, Jesse. The guy, Dina's boyfriend was Jesse. That's his name. So I'm saying, like, I never understood the whole thing of like having a pregnant woman go with you on like X-Men.
Yeah, that was a little like
I didn't understand that. That threw me through.
Well, it was 2 times technically, right? Wasn't
like the epic
Dina? I think did. Oh no, you didn't really know. But they were hinting that she was pregnant, right, with morning sickness and all that, right, throughout the game. And then
she has like a baby bump, and she's like fighting while she's on the Jeep or whatever. I'm like,
yeah,
why did y'all approve her to come with us when she's pregnant? And shouldn't she be at the the Giant Stadium?
Yeah,
and shit.
I don't know. That was weird. I think she was a part of the medical team or something. I don't remember.
She was, but they could have taken somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that made no sense to me. So no, that's my friend. Okay, if that's your friend, don't you think your friend should be over here safe, away from the fighting while she gives birth to?
Donald says Dina was pregnant as fuck. No, bro, you don't see a belly bump.
No, she didn't have no bump. She found out she was pregnant, like, but she wasn't showing. You know what I mean? It was like there was no sign. Like she was having, like, she threw up, right? If I recall, right? Yeah, she was having those early signs of pregnancy, like throwing up.
But the other person was absolutely pregnant, like showing. It was like, oh boy. I was just like, bro.
That part you give her a boost up the wall, and she like her whole stomach hits the wall and goes. I'm like, bro. Yeah, any pregnant woman would probably would be out of it after that. I'm just saying, but anyway, no, that was that with the whole pregnancy. So much, man. So many questions for Last of Us.
Yeah,
and then
questions. Benjamin says the pregnant girl insisted on going into the fight despite warnings not to. Yeah, that was
really crazy.
I don't even know if I want to replay that game just so I can remember it.
I don't either. I don't know. I mean, even what did Angry Joe say? He was like, "Oh, it's just like," he's like, "They're forcing us to play fetch with the dogs to feel bad."
I had to make you feel bad.
Make you feel bad.
Like, yeah, you killed that dog, right? Yeah, feel bad.
It was very manipulative, and then I'm like, come on, do I have to really play as the dog that I just killed? And they made, and by the way, I don't know if y'all caught on to the detail, and they did a good job with this, but each dog had like a distinctive like look. Like they weren't all copy and paste looks for the dogs. They all had like different patterns. You could tell which dog was which. So if you remember that you fought it, it looked exactly like it was in the actual in the world. But it was just like, come on. I don't want to kill no dogs. Like I don't want to relive Game of Thrones, for God's sakes. When what's the name? Rob dies, and then they took his direwolf head and put it on him. Like, come on, I don't want to go through that. But anyway, that was the information for Last of Us. And I think there was one last bit of news. I think. Oh yeah, we got news for Resident Evil Village VR. So that's going to actually launch on February 22nd. It's going to be free for PlayStation VR 2. So that's pretty cool. So you're going to get the entire campaign in VR. Obviously, you're going to see Lady Dimitrescu and everybody else in person. See how tall they are, etc., etc. Graphics are going to be 4K HDR. They said 3D audio support, and the actual the Sense controllers are gonna mimic Ethan's hands, obviously. So that's gonna be cool. So you're gonna see your hand get chopped off when you pull the lever by Demetra. I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna be cool to see. But yeah, that's about it. Reddit, you have anything else you want to bring up with the people? Anything that kind of like happened? Want to talk about? Doesn't have to be game related. Anything in particular?
I think if anything gaming related is, I think this weekend Avatar comes out.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about that? You interested in Avatar too?
You know what? I'm just gonna watch and see. Some people say like if you like the movie, you like this one, right?
Wait. Say it again so I can just make sure I heard that correctly. Say it again. What you just say? What you just say?
What did I just say? I said I'm just gonna watch and see. Like, well, what's the issue? I'm confused. What's so funny about that? I'm just gonna watch and see.
I'm just gonna watch and see. Okay, you waited 20 years for this? I'm just gonna watch and see. You ain't gonna tell me. You ain't gonna tell me you like it or not. You interested or not? So I'm just gonna watch.
I'm gonna watch
20 years.
Like I'm gonna watch it. And we'll see. Like I said, if you don't like Avatar 1, you're probably not gonna like Avatar 2. If you liked Avatar 1, you probably like Avatar 2. I heard the CGI is like
amazing,
probably the best.
Yeah,
like the best in the industry. So
yeah, they beat the MCU. John Carpenter.
Dude, the MCU freaking has terrible CGI now. Like it's always been not that great. So I'm definitely gonna see it.
Don't rate the series. Okay, we ain't gonna sit here and rate the entire MCU's amazing CGI after She-Hulk, sir. We're not gonna do this.
What happened?
We're not gonna rate it after seeing She-Hulk. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, dude.
No, I agree with you. I heard
the water looks great, by the way, in that movie too. Looks really, really good.
Looks phenomenal.
I'm gonna see it just because, like, bro, there wasn't a lot of good movies this year. Like the only ones I liked was like The Norseman. What was that indie film that was like a multiverse film that was really good? Better multiverse film than Doctor Strange, in my opinion. Top Gun Maverick, The Batman.
Yeah, The Batman.
I think that's it for me.
I'm forever holding an L off of The Batman. I had the biggest doubts for The Batman. I was like, dude, I don't know if this is gonna be it. You know, I had my doubts for The Batman, and then
supposedly, Avatar is supposed to. This is the prediction. It's supposed to hit $500 million in the global box office.
Yeah, for
this weekend. So yeah, Everything Everywhere all at once. Go watch that movie. By the way, really good movie. Watch it on the Discord. Really good. Better multiverse film than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange could never. That's all I gotta say there. I thought that was such a good movie.
I thought Doctor Strange was good because I like what they did with Wanda. They made Wanda kind of scary. And
bro, there's like the problem with Doctor Strange is they use what was her name, dude? Oh shit, America Chavez as a literal plot device.
Oh yeah.
And she did not even feel like she's a plot device.
Yeah.
She's literally a MacGuffin. So it's like she was uninteresting. Doctor Strange literally had no character development. They try to make it feel like you know how there's always character development throughout the movie, whereas like this one wasn't really character development. And I talk about this to a lot of people. It's like this is the problem with Doctor Strange and all these other different multiverses, but you don't actually see the problem with Doctor Strange in this version of the universe. Like he's just being told all the other versions of Doctor Strange are bad, but they're not telling specifically why.
Like what happened? Yeah, like what happened
in this film. Like himself, the main core Doctor Strange in 616. They don't really talk about it. It's just, hey, you have problems in all these different universes.
I was expecting a little bit more of a cooler showdown too. I mean, it was dope with the music, like how he was like hitting the notes and doing the magic against the evil Strange. He was like, okay, I'll give you the Darkhold, but you give me the girl. You know, like you give me your.
He was so comically like
evil,
so cheesy too. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like,
oh boy,
it was silly. And obviously the ending how it ended with him getting.
Dude, that CGI looked bad too when he had the eye. I was like, dude, that looked so bad.
It didn't even look like it was CGI. It looked like a prosthetic. Like somebody just super glued an eye at the end, like the way it opened up and it happened. But he had an eye.
It wasn't even prosthetic. It looked that bad. That's the thing. I was like, oh my gosh.
And
I'm like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm just like at this point.
We had
like
Charles
I said,
Xavier. Charles Xavier made a cameo though. I mean, that was dope. Even though he
got
unceremoniously
crapped on.
gets his neck snapped.
No, it was like torn off if you like.
Wow. Yeah.
It.
True. Or of course, what's her name? Was it Captain Carter? Captain Carter gets. I'm guessing they're implying it went through her stomach, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, they were. They were trying to say she was cut in half, but they can't show it.
Yeah, it went through her stomach, but really she got split in half with the damn the shield. So they were very, you know.
I mean, Captain Marvel. You know how she dies? A little freaking pillar just falls on her. I was like, wow, that is the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
I'm like, at least Fantastic got turned into, yeah, exactly. If Mr. Fantastic got turned into spaghetti, he literally just got skinned, gets shredded.
Like I said, I'm not very interested in the current MCU though.
WandaVision though. WandaVision was, I don't know, a lot of people slept on WandaVision. I thought WandaVision was straight. Yeah, most of it.
I think it was good, but look what they did with it. It wasn't that like interesting.
No Vision. Yeah, Vision wasn't shown off in the movie of this one. It's like
they just pieced on out essentially.
Yeah,
never to be seen again.
So I'm Vision. I'm gone now. I just let the thing disappears. Nothing comes back. So Vision's alive, but he's gone. He has a new look, but he's gone. Yeah. Awesome. So there's that. But yeah, no. I mean, I'm trying to think. Was there anything else worthwhile? I mean,
I'm trying to think, but
the Joker too. Can't wait for that. Obviously, like,
yeah.
The Batman. Me and this four are gonna be old by the time we see the Batman too. That ain't coming out to what 2026.
No, I'd say 2025.
I hope so. Oh yeah, it is a musical as well. Yeah, the Joker. Yes, it is a musical.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to like, kind of like, if you read the interviews and all that with Todd Phillip, it's more along the lines of like A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that movie. I'm probably gonna go see it or watch it or
That's
whatever.
That's Lady Gaga, right? Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be more like that than a traditional musical. So.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. It might be good. I mean, what I loved about the Joker. If I just want to segue a little bit, Joker.
That hit $1 billion, by the way. Yeah. That was insane.
I'm happy. Though. Y'all, Joaquin Phoenix. I actually thought for the longest time, I thought Heath Ledger's legacy couldn't be touched as Joker. Like, I thought that dude brought so much to the table. A lot of people say that Heath Ledger was overrated as Joker. Bro, I thought Heath Ledger really brought the heat as Joker. He was like really that guy. Joaquin Phoenix comes in, he just makes it his own. Like, first, when we were starting getting snippets of it, you know, like him doing the laugh, I was like, dude, he nailed the laugh. He has it. He's really getting into this role. And then when we get to that little twist, you know what I mean? The little twist at the end where the girl we thought he was dating, he never was dating. He was just like psychotic over and he killed her. So I thought it was really, really good. It was just, it's a good take into madness. Like, I love that creativity of it. So I don't know. It's not a movie's just not hitting, man. The Batman surprised the hell out of me because of how well they captured Gotham. Like, really captured Gotham. Gotham is his own character in the Batman, and that's the good thing about it. When you look at Christian Bale's Batman or
it looks like Chicago or something like that. Like
it looks like this. It looks like this perfect like place you want to live, right? Where there's no crime, no nothing. All these crazy shots, beautiful shots.
I swear, I thought they filmed in like Chicago or Detroit or something.
Nothing like that. But nah.
I could be wrong. Someone can, correct me in the chat.
Oh man, Avatar. Hopefully that movie delivers. I'm excited for it, even though I was like, what? I feel like I was 18 when I first saw Avatar.
I was in 7th grade.
I was still in
7th grade, by the way, when I went to see it with my friends.
Yeah, I was still in school when it came out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah, I was still in school. I was still in school. I was in high school when it came out.
You weren't 18, though. I'm trying to, think.
No,
because
I was younger than that.
Like, you're what?
7. I'm 30.
Like, now. What? Yeah, so now that's 4. That's... Actually, you might have been almost 18 by that point. You were in, probably 11th grade.
Yeah. No, was that 17? I was 17. I was 17.
Yeah, 17 or 18, one or the other. Yeah. You're in 11th grade.
Mm. So there was that. But damn, that's that. Yeah, Henry Cavill was definitely done dirty. It's a shame. It's a travesty. Poor guy.
I wouldn't be shocked if James Gunn will do like an Infinite Crisis, like Infinite Crisis on Earth or something, where they bring him back. But like I said, you're not getting anything left.
No black suit Spider-Man. Hey, go ahead and just cry, man. Let's go ahead and cry. No black suit Spider-Man, even though that's Superman. That's a Spider-Man. That's a Spider-Man.
You only see it with Zack Snyder's version. That was it. And he had to do that stealthily too. Like,
you know what's funny?
Because they had to color grade it because they didn't want the black suit.
Yeah.
So like,
you know what's funny as hell to everybody in the chat though? Yeah, I remember the trend that started. Restore the Snyderverse or the direct or Snyder cut. They like restore it. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was showing it for who remembers Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. They was asking for Val Kilmer's director's cut. Val Kilmer's director's cut had to be the most goofy director's cut. Like there was snippets that was shown. Had to be one of the goofiest things ever. You like the big bat that was shown in the background? We finally see it. It's in the cave. I'm like, thank God this was cut. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these director's cuts y'all don't want. I'm just keeping it polite. Y'all don't want these cuts.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was you about to say, Red? I'm far gone.
No, like I was thinking like of some other topics, but it's just like it's
it came out in 08.
Mostly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it came out in 08 actually. 'Cause I graduated in 2011 from high school. So yeah, it's in 08. Yeah. Yes, sir. Crazy. Crazy. That is 2009. Okay. The best thing out of the Batman Forever was the song "Kiss on the Rose." We're not gonna speak of that. We ain't gonna speak of that. The most goofy music video of all time for a Batman film. Shout out to Seal. But come on, bro. This is this is the song they chose for Batman. So Batman was a joke back then. Who remembers Batman and Robin?
Let's not talk about that, bro. we try to think that this does not exist. That movie
that's one character that needs to be done justice. But y'all talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman getting Mr. Freeze. I don't think it'll work. In his world. That's too grounded. Way too grounded for Mr. Freeze. Maybe obviously the Court of Owls are going to be part of it, but the Court of Owls makes more sense. Like a crime syndicate hidden within the city, minus the cheesy dialogue from a certain game. You found the Court of Owls. You guys are better protectors. You guys are the true protectors. Red Hood, look at me, Red Hood. You guys are the true protectors of Gotham. You guys are cringe.
Oh my gosh. Cringe, man. Cringe.
First, I'm quoting Gotham Knights, by the way.
Don't play the game, guys.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Please don't. Save yourself. Even though they're giving out I think the DLC's dropping for that game. And it's basically I forgot the name of it. It's basically that little starfish thing from Suicide Squad.
It's the arena mode, the co-op arena mode.
But
it's like the 4-player
little
one.
the little starfish thing with the eye, it grabs you. What's the name of it? It was in Suicide Squad.
Starro? I think it's Starro.
The starfish, the little starfish looking thing.
I think it's Starro.
Yeah, that might be it. But that's like the boss or whatever. And there's like boss modes where you can like fight the enemies and whatnot with a team. So you can do that.
Yeah.
So. You said the only Batman movies that exist are the Nolan series?
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, give the Batman a shot. Trust me, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Very, very good. I'm actually openly admitting I was wrong to doubt that film.
Dude, like a lot of people don't realize, but Matt Reeves is a really good director and writer. That man also was like, I'm trying to think of like did the Dawn for the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. Really great.
Yeah. It's good. And that right there is a series nobody talks about anymore. That's a goated series. You want to talk about a perfect franchise? The Planet of the Apes series. That was perfect. They actually nailed that.
A great trilogy. Really good trilogy.
Perfect.
People need to watch that.
If they did a part 3, I would actually part 4. I would actually be.
Dude, you know they're Disney's trying to reboot or redo the series.
No.
And they're trying to get the Maze Runner director to do it.
No.
Man, it's funny as hell.
Don't
I'm
touch
like,
it.
Nope, Disney, you're just gonna butcher it like you do with your other movies.
Like, don't touch it. No, it was too good as it was. It was too good.
Dude, see, Corey mentioned it. I was like, dude, I don't want to watch that movie. It is gonna be garbage. Disney doesn't picks the wrong writers and directors all the damn time.
Why are we remaking that though? Like, why? Why'd I just go with the other things in your list here? What up, Corbin Dolly says, what's up, Mr. Big Cloud? What's up? He says, shout out to Reddit looking like a DualSense controller in that jacket.
The thing is, like, a lot of people don't know what this jacket is, so.
Yeah.
It's a great jacket.
Whatever you do, don't let Reddit catch you in the alley. You'll be missing a limb.
No, sir. What I would say is, have you heard the great word of Final Fantasy 14 with the free trial that comes with the critically acclaimed expansion?
You sure?
Heaven's Sword.
You sure that's where it's from? You sure you don't be in the you don't be in the shadows like, we love you, Dark God, today with the little knife.
I'll have my little like Final Fantasy 14 get up like this.
You don't be like that in the darkness, okay?
No, sir, don't.
Red up like,
but I'm molded by darkness.
Red up like, I'll eat your heart. Don't press, don't step, don't try me.
Listen, I'm not like Amelia Clark eating out horses' hearts.
I don't even mention that. I haven't mentioned that. All right, well, that was episode 214. I know we got Mooches. You got Mooches, all right? So I don't know if
this. Yep, it's gonna be another shift this session. Like double shift.
He's like prolonging that. So appreciate everybody who came through. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Guys, haven't done so already, hit that like button. We'll see you guys next week. Obviously, Red Hood, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitch at RedHood420. We're going to be probably playing some Crisis Core Reunion, along with doing some of video reaction and gaming news to talk about. We kind of like do AMAs as well. So it's pretty fun. Everybody enjoys it. So check that out. And then check me out on Twitter at RedHood240. So we greatly appreciate you follow there. And YouTube, I'm also trying to think about, along with the Death Stranding video game essay, I'm also trying to do a analysis on the trailer. So I'm going to also just replaying Death Stranding as a whole because there's so much tidbits to kind of like literally dig in, and Kojima kind of like said that within the Game Awards. So I'm gonna try to like really dissect that trailer. So, but I appreciate everybody coming through. Just make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, so you guys get notified and hit the bell icon. So I appreciate everybody coming through. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Peace. And the show will be on Spotify in the morning, by the way. So those of you that missed it, I'll be making the announcement on Twitter. But those of you that were here, we're live on Spotify. So shout out to you guys. You guys can check us out there. Take the show with you on the go. I know you guys have been asking me about this multiple times, and I told you guys I will be working on it. Well, today's the day I announce it. So RGT will be on the go. We have over 200 episodes. So what I'm going to do is try my best to put as many on there. Might take a minute. Might have Red to help me as we like convert a lot of these to Spotify and everywhere of that nature. I'm gonna get us approved everywhere else. But now, real talk. Very excited about it. We had a lot of fun with y'all. There's been a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, like I told you. So we've been really setting up the show for 2023. I already told you guys before, a lot of surprises for you, which I'm very excited to share. So when we do get into that, we'll be ready. But yeah, as far as the show. That's one of the things that's happened. So starting tomorrow, you'll have the show up there for Spotify. So hopefully you guys enjoy and have a good one. All right. We out.
Peace.